Okay. Tell me the properties which are depends on number of solute particles or concentration of the solute particles but not nature of the solvent called colligative properties. So we have 4 colligative properties. 1, RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure. 2, elevation in boiling point. 3, depression in freezing point. 4, osmotic pressure. Okay, so let us see one by one. First one, relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. It is also be written RLVP. RLVP. Okay. Now tell me. So what is? Tell me first, what is vapor pressure? Vapor pressure is the pressure which is exerted by the vapor of liquid when vapor and liquid both are in equilibrium. Yes or no? So this is, for example, let us take a beaker which is containing any liquid, right? Let us take, it is a liquid A, right? So this liquid A, liquid molecule undergo vaporization, it form vapors of the liquid. So it is called vaporization. Next, after some time, so these vapors again condense to form liquid, but at particular stage the rate of vaporization is equal to rate of condensation, which is called equilibrium. At equilibrium it has certain pressure, no? These vapors can exert certain pressure. That pressure is called vapor pressure. That means the pressure exerted by the vapor of liquid when vapor and liquid both are in equilibrium, called vapor pressure. So this is we have studied in detail, right? Now next, now tell me, to this liquid let us add a non-volatile solute, right? When a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, come on, tell me, when a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, what happens? Vapor pressure is decreases, obviously. So why the vapor pressure of solution is decreases? This is because when a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, some of the solvent particles occupy the some of the solute particle occupy the surface of the solvent. As a result, number of solvent molecule escaping into vapor phase is decreases. Therefore, vapor pressure is decreases, right? So therefore, when a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, then what happens? Vapor pressure of the solution is always decreases. Therefore, the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is always less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Now let the vapor pressure of pure solvent, tell me, vapor pressure of pure solvent is, let us take P0, and vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is P. Let us take P. Now tell me, among P0 and P, which is greater? P0. The vapor pressure of pure solvent is always more than that of vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute. Therefore, P0 is always greater than P. Okay. Now, since P0 is greater than P, I will take P0 minus P. So the difference between P0 minus P, which is called delta P, where what is the delta P? Delta P is lowering of vapor pressure. Then tell me, what is the lowering of vapor pressure? How do you define? It is the difference between vapor pressure of pure solvent and vapor pressure of solution containing, it must be non-volatile solute, is called lowering of vapor pressure. Okay. Is it lowering of vapor pressure is a colligative property? No. Lowering of vapor pressure is not a colligative property. Then next is, what is RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure? And tell me. So it is the RLVP is equals to the ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent. It is the ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent is called relative lowering of vapor pressure. Then this relative lowering of vapor pressure is a colligative property. So this is a colligative property. So what is the meaning of colligative property? The property which is depends on the number of solute particle. That means RLVP is depends on number of solute particle or concentration of solute particle. So therefore it is a colligative property. Next we have one more important definition, Raoult's law of RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure. So what is the Raoult's law of RLVP? It states that RLVP of solution is always equal to mole fraction of solute. Very simple. RLVP equal to mole fraction of solute. That means at constant temperature, relative lowering of vapor pressure, RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure containing solution containing non-volatile solute is always equal to, RLVP is always equal to what? Mole fraction of solute or solvent? Mole fraction of solute only. Solute can be taken as X2 or nothing but XB. So therefore RLVP equal to X2. You can take RLVP is equals to X2. Or what is RLVP? P naught minus P by P naught. That means delta P divided by P naught, which is equals to X2. This is according to Raoult's law of RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure. Then, but what is X2 equal to? It is mole fraction of solute. Okay, X2 equal to mole fraction of solute, but we also know that X2 equal to number of moles of solute divided by number of moles of solute and solvent. That means N1 plus N2. N2 is a number of moles of solute, and what is N1 equal to number of moles of solvent. Okay, then but since this colligative property applicable for what? Only dilute solutions. Yes or no? Dilute solutions. Since colligative properties are applicable for dilute solution, in dilute solution the number of moles of solvent N1 is very less compared to number of moles of solute. Solute is less. Okay, number of moles of solute is very less compared to solvent. So therefore, since colligative property applicable for dilute solution, then number of moles of solute N2 is always much lesser than N1, or N1 much greater than N2. Therefore here this N1 value much more greater than N2. Therefore this N2 is very less compared to N1. That's what N2 can be. Yes. So therefore N2 in denominator can be neglected. When you neglect N2 in denominator, then what is X2 equal to? So it is N2 by N1. Right. So therefore now delta P by P naught is equals to N2 by N1. RLVP equal to N2 by N1. But we know that N2 equal to number of moles of solute, that is W2 by M2, mass of the solute divided by mass of molecular mass of the solvent solute, and N1 equal to mass of the solvent divided by molar mass of the solvent. So therefore delta P by P naught is equals to, tell me, W2 by M2. It is into M, here W1, here is M1, right? So RLVP equal to W2 by M2 into M1 by W1. But what is the importance of all colligative properties? Yesterday we have studied. By using colligative properties, one of the important application is you can calculate the accurate molar mass of the solute. So you can calculate very accurately molar mass of the solute, that is M2. So then what is the M2 in this case? So molar mass of the solute M2 is equals to, come on tell me, W2 into M1 by, it is delta P by P naught into W1. Okay. So where, come on tell me, what is M2 equal to? Molar mass of solute. Next, M1 equal to molar mass of solvent. W1 equal to mass of solvent. W2 equal to mass of solute. And what is the delta P equal to? P naught minus P. It is nothing but what? Lowering of vapor pressure. And what is P naught equal to? Vapor pressure of pure solvent. And what is the P equal to? Vapor pressure of solution containing, it must be non-containing, non-volatile solute. Okay. So this is RLVP, related to lowering of vapor pressure. Take down. Take note. Now here first point, RLVP P naught minus P by P naught is equals to mole fraction of solute. Next, can we write, take down, P naught minus P by P naught minus P by P naught equal to x2, no, can we write x2 equal to 1 minus x1? Sometime they will give the x1 value, they may expect any P1 or P naught or P value. Okay. Next, sometime in problem here see P naught minus P by P naught equal to x2. They may give the x2 value. By giving x2 value, they may expect P value, and without giving P naught value. Then how to identify P naught value? What is a P naught? It is a vapor pressure of pure solvent. So every solvent has its own vapor pressure, right? Particularly, what is the vapor pressure of water at 25 degrees Celsius? It is 23.8 mm of mercury. You should remember this value. Okay, right? Or sometime they may mention the they may give the P naught, they may not give the P value. So how to see P value is, they may mention like this question: water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, or something so and so solution boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Tell me, they will mention the so and so solution boil at 100 degrees Celsius. What is the meaning of this? The boiling point of any solution become No, at what temperature it boils? It has boiling point. At what pressure it boils? 1 atm. It means indirectly, instead of giving vapor pressure, they will mention the boiling point. The boiling point of so and so solution is something x. It means the boiling point become x when vapor pressure equal to 1 atm. It means, so vapor pressure of any liquid, it become 1 atm. If it is, its boiling point is mentioned. Its boiling point is mentioned because the boiling point will be given. It indicates that at boiling point the vapor pressure equal to 1 atm. Okay, so it means indirectly P value given is 1 atm or nothing but 760 mm of mercury. Okay, next, another hint. We know that RLVP, it is a colligative property. RLVP is inversely proportional to molar mass of the solute or not? You see here, molar mass and RLVP, how they are related? Inverse. So all the colligative properties are inversely proportional to molar mass of the solute. Next, then RLVP is directly proportional to particle concentration. Yes or no? Then RLVP is directly proportional to I into C, where I is called Van't factor. We will study at the end of the topic. But remember, I into C nothing but it is a particle concentration only. C is equals to molar concentration, I equal to Van't factor. Next, then this RLVP, practically it can be determined by Ostwald, Walker-Ostwald method. So it is determined by Ostwald Walker method. This is one particular method by using Ostwald Walker, or it is also called Walker Ostwald. So Ostwald Walker method, RLVP can be determined practically. These are the some important things you need to remember. Take down. Next, yeah, it is determined by Ostwald Walker method, and sometime in problem they will mention like this. See, when a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, what happens? Its vapor pressure is decreases. Yes or no? So when a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, its vapor pressure is decreases. Now suppose in question they will give the vapor pressure of solution is decreases by 25% or 30%, 50%. Like that they will give the in question. What is the meaning of the vapor pressure of solution is decreases by 25%? How to take or what to take P and P naught and all. Okay, take one question. Like here only contention, right? When a non-volatile, right? When a non-volatile solute 2 grams, when non-volatile solute 2 grams is added to water, its vapor pressure is reduced by 25%. Vapor pressure is reduced by 25%. Then what is the RLVP? We want only RLVP. Data. So therefore P naught equal, take down, P naught equal to 100 and P becomes 75. P naught minus P become 25 because P naught minus P, it gives how much is reduced, how much is lowered. That value is mentioned here. vapor pressure is reduced by 25%. So vapor pressure is reduced by 25% means, so P naught minus P equal to 25. If it is at 25, it is 75. Then P naught minus P by P naught equal to 25 by 100, which is equals to 0.25. That is the RLP. Okay. So next, elevation in boiling point. Second colligative property, elevation in boiling point. Come on, tell me. Let us see first what is the boiling point. Anybody? Can you tell me, anybody, what is boiling point? The temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid is equals to atmospheric pressure, right? So therefore it is the temperature at which vapor pressure of any liquid is equals to atmospheric pressure. So therefore the temperature at which vapor pressure of any liquid is equals to its atmospheric pressure, then it is called boiling point. Therefore what is the relation between boiling point and atmospheric pressure? So boiling point is directly proportional to atmospheric pressure. Suppose if the atmospheric pressure is increases, boiling point is increases. We have studied like the boiling point of water in sea level or Chennai, you can take Chennai or Mangalore, it is sea level now. The boiling point of water in Mangalore is 100 degrees Celsius. What is the boiling point of same water in Himalayas? It is a less than 100, because at Himalayas it is a high altitude. At high altitude atmospheric pressure is decreases. When atmospheric pressure decreases, boiling point also decreases. Okay, fine. Next is, now let us take, it is a volatile solvent, right? To the volatile solvent, now let us add a non-volatile solute. Come on, tell me. When a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, then what happened here? Vapors are decreases, no? When a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, vapor pressure is decreases. Why the vapor pressure decreases? The same reason, some of the solute particle occupy the surface of the solvent. As a result, this solvent molecule escaping into vapor phase is decreases, therefore vapor pressure is decreases. Next, when the vapor pressure decreases, boiling point is increases. This is because when the vapor pressure increases, it requires more temperature, right? More heating is required, so that its vapor pressure should make into what, or should be make equal into what? Atmospheric pressure. That means vapor pressure is directly inversely proportional to boiling point. Do you understand? When a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, vapor pressure is decreases. As a result, what happened? Solution should be heated to higher temperature. Yes or no? Solution should be heated to higher temperature to make its vapor pressure equal to atmospheric pressure. That's what vapor pressure inversely proportional to boiling point. Okay, now let us take, let the boiling point of pure solvent, let the boiling point of pure solvent T naught be, and boiling point of solution containing non-volatile solute is Tb. Then among T naught B, Tb, which is greater? Tb greater? No. The boiling point of solution is more. TB is greater than T naught B. So therefore, now can we take difference between T naught B and TB? So TB is greater, therefore delta TB equal to TB minus T naught B. Then what is the delta TB? It is called, tell me, elevation in boiling point. Okay. So what is elevation in boiling point? The difference between boiling point of solution containing non-volatile solute and the boiling point of pure solvent. The boiling point of solution minus boiling point of pure solvent is nothing but elevation in boiling point. It means the meaning of elevation is boiling point increased. For example, you can take like water. The boiling point of pure water is 100 degrees Celsius, right? Now the boiling point of pure water 100 degrees Celsius. To the pure water, let us add a small amount of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a non-volatile solute. Tell me, what is the boiling point of water? It is 100, less than 100 or greater than 100? It should be more than 100, because when a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, the boiling point of solution is always increases. How much it is? It is more than 100. How much it is increased? That you have to calculate from the given data. So therefore, the boiling point of solution is always greater than the boiling point of solvent, pure solvent. That's what delta TB is, difference between solution and solvent boiling points. Okay, then but we know that delta TB is a colligative property. Of course, here boiling point is not a colligative property, but elevation in boiling point is a colligative property, right? Next is this elevation in boiling point. It is practically proved that elevation in boiling point is directly proportional to molality, small m. Therefore, delta TB can be equal to Kb into molality, small m, where what is the Kb equal to? It is a molal elevation constant. Overall, it is also called ebullioscopic constant. Next, what is small m? It is a molality, not molarity, molality, small m. Okay, but we also know that molality. So what is the molality formula? Molality is equals to weight of solute divided by molar mass of the solute into 1000 divided by mass of the solvent in grams. So therefore, substitute molality equation here. Then tell me, delta TB is equals to Kb into, it is W2 by M2 into 1000 divided by W1 in grams. So this is the formula to calculate elevation in boiling point. But we also know that this molar mass of the solute is always inversely proportional to delta TB. So therefore, M2 is equals to, it is, tell me, Kb into W2 into 1000 divided by delta TB into W1 should be in grams. The molar mass can be calculated accurately, where you can remember like this: delta TB is inversely proportional to molar mass of the solute. Yes or no? All colligative properties are inversely proportional to molar mass of the solute. Okay. Next, so where what is molal elevation constant? What is molal elevation constant? Tell me. So from the equation you can take this equation. Take this equation. From the equation 1, can I take delta TB is equals to Kb into m? I want actually Kb, molar elevation constant, Kb equal to delta TB by m. Okay. Now tell me, if the Kb equal to delta T by m, then how do you define molar elevation constant? So molar elevation constant can be defined as, you take if molality is equals to 1 mole per kg, right? If small m equal to 1, tell me, if the molality equal to 1 mole per kg, then Kb equal to delta Tb. Therefore, you can define what is delta Tb. So delta Tb is nothing but it is the elevation in boiling point produced. Delta Tb, no? Yeah, the elevation in boiling point is produced when 1 mole of solute present in 1 kg of solvent, right? Therefore, it is nothing but the elevation in boiling point produced when 1 mole of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. Once question asked based on units in CET. Tell me, what is the unit of Kb? So where Kb equal to delta Tb. Delta Tb is nothing but difference in temperature, no? It is difference in temperature, nothing but it is a Kelvin divided by mole per kilogram, sorry, okay, mole per kg. Therefore, so what is the unit? It is a Kelvin kg per mole, important. So Kelvin kg per mole. Next one is, then is it Kb value depends on nature of solute or nature of solvent, or Kb is related to solute or solvent? So Kb value is related to only solvent but not solute. Therefore, Kb value related to nature of solvent. Like for example, water. So the Kb value of water is always constant, it is 0.52. So therefore, Kb value is related to, it is related to nature of solvent but not solute. For example, Kb of water, it is a 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole. That means each solvent has different Kb value. Therefore, Kb value of solvent is fixed. Water, wherever we take water solvent, you know, Kb value is always fixed, 0.52. So like that, Kb value is related to nature of the solvent but not nature of solute. Okay, take down till here.